one thing that's not quite good, I just finished watching it actually, a little video courtesy of A Tozy, where he basically talks about this story that went viral a few weeks ago, but I guess he's covering it now because this lady has now gone to court and stuff, and she's been charged, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But essentially it describes this story that happened a few weeks ago where this girl ended up killing her manager. She worked at a local McDonald's, and she, you know, had a falling out with the manager and decided to come back from her shift, or she left, came back, and decided to stab her manager, dead there, right there in the flipping fast food joint. I'm pretty sure it was a McDonald's.
My mama is gone. It's not fair. It's not fair.
A heartbreaking scene in East Point where a dispute between two co-workers ended in a deadly stabbing. How police say witnesses helped catch the suspect. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Rochelle Graham. That family is devastated after learning their mother was stabbed to death at a McDonald's, allegedly by one of her co-workers. Our Jack Springate joins us live outside that McDonald's. He talked to the family as they continue to mourn their mother's loss. Jack?
Well, Rochelle, emotions of utter disbelief from family members about what happened this morning to 39-year-old mother of 6, Jennifer Harris. Her daughters not only tell me that they're shocked by the fact that the suspect in this case is someone they've met before, a co-worker of their mother's, but also that this all happened at a place where their mother worked to provide for her 6 kids.
My mama died trying to take care of us.
Layers of emotion poured out of Harris's oldest daughter as she tries to process losing her mother.
She was so good to everybody. A hard-working woman. My mama was even good to her.
Griffin talking about the suspect, a 26-year-old woman who she says met these kids before as one of her mom's co-workers before they'd know her as the person accused of killing their mother.
We met the lady and everything. I don't understand why she had to kill her.
Police say Harris, the manager during the shift, sent the suspect home following an argument. They claim the suspect returned from her car with a knife and mask and started attacking the victim. They say she only stopped when a customer at the drive-thru fired his gun in the air to stop the attack.
The suspect stopped stabbing the victim. She dropped the knife and started running away. The Good Samaritan actually showed courage by running after the suspect and was able to detain her until officers arrived.
It was only when they showed up for their later shifts that other employees learned why they wouldn't be working today.
I'm shocked. I couldn't believe it. You know, I was devastated. I never would have thought something like this was going to happen there.
And it made me think, has there ever been a job that I have had where I've legitimately thought about killing somebody? I don't think so. Like, there are some jobs that you have where the manager, your supervisor, sometimes even your colleagues get on your nerves and you want to maybe just punch them square in their nose. You might want to give them a backhanded slap. You might want to give them a fucking wedgie, right? You might want to you might want to not hold the door for them. You might not want to ask them what they want for lunch or get them a coffee. You might want to make sure you just ignore them the whole day and only speak to them when you have to. You might just reply to them with emojis on Slack and stuff, like loads of passive aggressive things. But I don't think there's been a single colleague that I've worked with that I've wanted to literally kill. That's a little bit excessive. That's a little bit crazy. Like, even if you're being bullied, like, I think when it comes to work situations, like, you know, I've had situations in work where I've not been the favorite. I think that happens when you're not the favorite. You kind of sometimes feel like you're getting bullied, right? You're maybe not the favorite. You maybe aren't pulling your weight. If it's like a team thing, you're maybe the weak link. You're just a newbie. That can be a bit awkward. But a job is similar to, like, you know, getting bullied at work is similar to like cyberbullying. You can just stop it by leaving the job. You don't have to work there. Yes, it's obviously great to work there. You're working there because you need the job to pay your bills, but you don't have to work there. You can just leave. So if you are being bullied, just leave. Like, and I wouldn't even bother bringing it up with HR. I'm not gonna lie, because as most of you guys know, especially those of you who've been working for a long time, HR isn't there to protect the employee. It's there to protect the company from the employee. So there's no real point bringing up to HR, because more than likely you're not the first or the last person that's gonna have a problem with that person who's, you know, quote unquote bullying you. So you're better off conserving your energy, keeping your peace, not driving yourself mad, and just finding another job. But you shouldn't, probably, like, you know, this is probably advice that no one needs to hear, but you probably shouldn't be going back to work and trying to kill your boss. And you know what's funny about it? The story, what's tragic about it, not funny, what's tragic about it is that the story itself, I'm pretty sure the girl went back. Like, she got sent home early. Like, I think there's videos to put out later on where you can clearly see she was a bit mental, definitely suffering from some sort of mental illness or something, right? Mental health issues and shit. And I'm assuming with the cuts over there in the United States, so all those type of care for people that suffer those type of things, she probably was in a bad situation, or maybe she wasn't taking a medication. Who knows why she got there? But essentially, she had been moaning and complaining and ranting online a lot about her boss on her own kind of social media platforms.
I got sent home early yesterday. I got sent home early today by the same person. I'm telling you, she's a bully. This isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in the store, you know, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect. And it isn't funny at all. Like, seriously, man, I got I gotta take care of. And she keeps sending me home early. It's not funny. She's playing games. And then all day, throughout the day, she keeps sending her little racial shit. And then throughout the day, she keeps on, like, putting negative energy in the air, talking about people, gossiping about people. It's not funny, man. Gonna have to stop. She's a bully. I'm telling you. She's a bully. She brings a lot of negative energy in there. She always panic when there's a lot going on. And then she try to manipulate that and make it seem like we ain't doing something right. But we are working really hard and doing great. It's just the fact that she panicked, and I caught her a few times making a mistake, and she tried to hurry up and play it off. You know, nobody's perfect. It's God, it happens. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, somebody might get confused. So it gets busy, yeah. But she needs to stop playing like she don't be making mistakes. I be catching her. So all that animosity and that she keep putting in the air and stuff, then trying to tell me I'm always snapping on people. No, that's false. No, I don't snap on people. I don't go in there doing that. I tell her, no, I make peace. That's what I'm doing. I've been creating peace. So all that negative energy that she's bringing in there and trying to manipulate it, no, that's going to stop. All that negative she's saying about, you know, her personal life, all of that. No, she's bringing all of that in there and then playing games saying she want to take her belt off and beat somebody. Y'all act like my kids in here. No, we ain't your kids. Respect us. Stop talking to us like that. That is crazy. I'm telling you. But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early, it's not funny. Somebody gonna have to do something about that. It's not funny. It's not fair. It isn't funny at all. So, you know, she could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that is going to catch up to her. Because it ain't funny at all. It ain't. Then one day she coming in there talking about some, yeah, I broke my door in half and I had to pull my gun out on my kids since this and that. Well, you know, telling us that, like, the you telling us you pulled a gun out on your kids for? You sound like a psychopath. That's what I wanted to tell her. She was talking about some she blacked out. I'm like, yeah, you must have had blacked out if you pulled the gun out on your kids. Like, you know, like, I'm like, what the you telling me this for? Like, she think she's like trying to make it seem like that she big dog or some give a about you telling me about you pulling the gun on a kid. I don't like that doesn't scare me. You know what I mean? That doesn't scare me. If she thought she was trying to intimidate me, that didn't intimidate me at all. I don't give a about her telling me about what the she did. You know, and maybe that's why they always fighting her to defend themselves. They probably felt like their life was threatened. The out of here with that.
Now, she did release music too that was kind of unhinged, but I think the rants that she was doing online should have been cause for concern, right? The complaints that she had for her boss, because you don't really usually see that. You don't really usually see people on social media complaining openly about their workplace, because sometimes, you know, most of us are scared or wary that if we do so, it might jeopardize our job. So we just kind of keep that to ourselves. But she was online, like, with bare face, like, just complaining about her manager, saying that she thinks, you know, she's all that, you're not all that, something needs to be done about it, someone's going to do something about it, she's playing with me, like, you know, essentially veiled threats that she was putting out on social. So maybe it should have been flagged from before. But what was crazy about it was that she went back home, changed, and then came back to the McDonald's to go kill her boss. But she changed into clothes and she thought that no one would recognize it was her. And it's like, if you work long enough with somebody, it's like, you know, your brothers or your parents and stuff, your maybe relative, you can spot them from a mile off. You know their gait, you know how their arm moves, you know that you can hear the sound of their voice. Like, you don't even need to, like, you know what I mean? So like the fact that this girl thought she could come back to work in a disguise, right, in some sort of alternative outfit, and no one realizes her, was fucking crazy. But yeah, tragic situation all around. RIP to the manager that passed away. I would like to say, as a little tidbit at the end, this isn't victim blaming, But that also goes without saying. That's why probably people should leave people alone. You know, you never know what people are dealing with. You never know what people are going through. That's why it's probably important to just leave people alone. There's no need to be bullying people. There's no need to be undermining people, micromanaging people, trying to belittle people, especially at work. Like, it's not necessary. I know some people get some satisfaction out of it. They get to kind of feel a little bit bigger and tougher because, you know, they get to lord this control and power over certain people. But sometimes if you do it to the wrong person, they may come back with a kitchen knife and done your entire dance. Now, that isn't to blame the lady, but, you know, like, things rarely happen in a silo. Things rarely happen in a silo.